had free tickets for the festival. I had 2 free tickets. I asked my friends who wants. He's the first one that answered. We went together from my house in Tel Aviv. We picked up a girl. We left at around 12:15. We picked up a random girl on the way that asked for a ride on Facebook. Her name was Esther. We didn't know her before. We picked her up from somewhere in Tel Aviv, and we went towards the festival, towards here. We were driving towards the way, and once we got close to the Otef, I remember thinking to myself, I haven't been here for a long time. Last time I was here was probably in my military time. I wonder if it's safe. There wasn't missiles also for a while, but it's just something that ran through my mind and kept on with my day. We get here at around something like 1:30. We put up our camp. In this area, all these were tents over here, a bunch of tents. It was the biggest festival, I think, since in this kind of music scene since 2019. Back in 2019, like, the police really tried to kind of ruin the scene because they don't really like it, because there's some drugs and whatever, so they don't really appreciate the scene. So since 2019, there wasn't something bigger than 1,500, 2,000 people. And here there was about almost 4,000 people. So we put up our camp. The energy levels are high, you know, a lot of people are keep on coming in, everyone's happy, smiling, came to have a good time because that was the whole point. And as I mentioned, I haven't been here for a year, and I've been going to these parties, festivals in Israel. I've been also to a lot of them in Europe, in India, and all around the world basically. So I've met a lot of people on the way, so I've been bumping into a lot of friends that I haven't seen for a while, or people that I met on my travels, on my trip. So everything was going really good. So 6:20ish about, I'm in the other stage. There was 2 stages. Over here was the main stage. Over there was the smaller stage. The same kind of music, but different BPM, a little bit different. I like the other stage more, the music. So I was in the smaller stage. At this point, I'm with Asaf. I bumped into a girl that I've met in India, and another friend that I haven't seen for a lot of years. I told one of my friends that I haven't seen for a lot of years. I told him, doesn't this remind you of the festivals before 2019? The vibe, the amount of people. And then he said, yeah, exactly feels the same, like deja vu. And I said, I wonder in Hebrew, מעניין מה יפוצץ את זה הפעם. This is like 7 minutes before. 6:30, 6:29. The sun's coming up. There was a beautiful sunrise. This guy was like red, you know, prettiest hour of the day. Then suddenly missiles start coming in. I wasn't freaking out at first. Kind of walked my way out of the festival ground. I look at my friend and I told him, are you kidding? The one that I told him, מעניין מה יפוצץ את המסיבה. Told him, אתה מסתלבט, מה אתה צוחק? We kind of walked our way out. They went on the speaker. They stopped the music. They said, everyone leave the festival grounds. So everything was like fenced before the road, but everything was like fenced. Kind of, you know, they had their mitcham. It was pretty big. Then we kind of walk our way out, still not freaking out. Some people are freaking out, some not. Some already rushed to leave. At this point, I also bumped into a friend of mine. I was with him for a few minutes. His name is Eddie Cohen. Unfortunately, that day got kidnapped. He's still in Gaza till today. Sorry? Okay. Then me, my friend, and Lotem, which was the girl that I bumped in from India, we ran across the street. We hid behind. We didn't really hide. These were the trees, so we just laid down behind one of the trees. She was having a panic attack. She was a little bit freaking out. I tried to calm her down. One of her friends called her. She asked her, where are you? She sent her location. Then they came rushing. They picked her up. It was around one of the trees over there. They picked her up. She went in the car. Now it's about 9:45 to 7. And then she leaves. I lost contact with her. I'll touch her story really quick. I got contact with her at around 9 a.m. She was hiding in a pipe, so she went on the road, 232, and there were policemen waiting on the road, which was Hamas dressed the policemen. They told all the cars to go into Alumim, and then there was like 15 terrorists waiting over there, and they started shooting everyone. She somehow escaped. She hid in a pipe for like 3-4 hours till Tzal came and rescued her. Thank God she's alive. Back to my story. When she goes in the car, we ran into some ditch over here, like I guess from the rain or whatever. There's like we hid in there for a few minutes. I also have a video of myself saying, I can show you guys after, taking a video saying there's התפרץ פה מלחמה, הלוואי שיזרקו עלינו נשקים, and then at that point I called my parents, just tell them I don't know what's going to be. They were in New York and religious, so they didn't answer, of course, both of them. I didn't have also a lot of battery. Then I told Asaf, okay, we have to get out of here. We got out of that ditch. It's already like 7:05. We're about to.
You came by car.
Yes, we came with Asaf's car.
You didn't think to get back in the car and drive.
No, we still didn't get to our car yet. There was chaos here. Imagine people running, people going in the car, people screaming.
That's because of the טילים, לא בגלל
And the whole
המחבלים
time,
עדיין.
tilim are coming in non-stop. That day there was like 2,000 tilim. So we still didn't get to the point that we got into the car.
Thinking of getting to the car?
Yeah.
Was that your
אבל
objective?
my first thought was, okay, יש טילים, יעצרו את המוזיקה, כמה דקות, יחזור המסיבה. Until it kept on and kept on. As at some point, when I was in the ditch, it was already half an hour non-stop tilim. So I said, אין מצב שזה... And then we were about to get in the car, and then Asap says, wait, Esther, the girl, we didn't know her, we have to go get her. We went back into the festival ground, we started looking for her, then we found her. We went back to the car, we get into the car, and this road is packed cars, and it's like the domino effect, we are in a kind of a traffic jam, and when someone goes out and lies on the floor, everyone does it, so it's going super slow. Every second someone's going out, laying on the floor. We're going through, it's going very slow till at this point there's like a turn over here, and then already the machine guns were super loud, like super loud, getting closer and closer, and I knew it wasn't Tzava because I was in a Gevist, and you're not taught to just shoot, you're taught to, shoot with also to save your bullets and also to hit, not just to hit anything. So it was non-stop and it sounded like a bunch of guns. Sorry, at one point I forgot before that. As we were going out, when we got Esther, me and Asaf had an argument. He didn't want to drive, he thought it was smart to stay here. I told him I don't think that's not smart, there's a lot of people here, this is the worst place to be. We had like a few minute argument till I told him, if you're not going to drive, get out of I'll drive. And then he said okay, and then we started leaving, and we started going out, and then the whole domino effect and whatever. When we get to there's like on the path over here, there's a fork in the road, either you go right or left. We were going to take a right. Right was much less jammed, because left is like towards the Merkaz and whatever, and most people are from the Merkaz, and most people are still thinking, getting home, that's what they want, not this not being free. It's probably about 7:30, 7:40. As we're taking a right, a car comes filled with bullets, and he tells us don't take a right. So if all these small things would have not happened, we probably would have taken a right. Who knows? And probably whoever took a right either was injured or somehow got away or murdered because they were coming from the right side. Then we take a left in the road. People running on the side of the road with bullets in their stomach, and everyone's also getting out of the car, getting into the car, like a complete chaos. Crazy traffic jam. Still, the rockets are coming in non-stop every year, second year, and the rockets coming in and exploding. There's no sirens in this area. Oh, you hear from the kibbutzim, Tzeva Adom.
There's no time, right? No time here. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Is that it?
Yeah. And then we get out of the car once. We start the first time we get out of the car, me and Asaf ran right. Esther, which was with us, ran left. We lost contact with her then, but she, thank God, is also alive. I actually haven't spoken to her. I don't know what her story is, but she's also alive. Thank God. At this point, we lost her. We went back into the car. We started driving a little, still debating what to do, until we saw like 3 policemen coming by. They immediately got gunned down. Then we left. We got out of the car. We ditched the car, and then we just started kind of walking fast, running fast. And at some point, I wanted to turn around, maybe to find a gun or something. And then I bumped into a friend. His name is Elader, like a friend from like when I was 16, and I haven't seen him since. And then he said, "It's a war. Just run for your life." Turn around, take us off me, and him started running towards the field.
East across the fields?
Started running through the fields.
Were you out of the car make it to the road?
The car stayed on the road with the engine on. We left it like that with everything in it.
About how far up were you? You went this way,
Just
right?
at the summit.
Yeah,
Just at the
probably directly. Right here.
Just ran.
And then we just ran, and it was October, probably the same heat as now, so it was very hot. We didn't have any water, we didn't have any food, and it's kind of like a big fields that are kind of like, you know, they just plowed them, so they were wasn't easy to run, and they as we were running, they came from both sides of the road, and they were just shooting everyone in the fork. And then they started shooting from the fields everywhere, and people were like getting shot and falling, bullets just flying over our head. And I remember like thinking to myself, why is no one telling us what to do? Like no police or army, or why is? And then I said to myself, okay, we're alone. Me and Asaf are alone. We started just running through the fields, and people getting shot, and it's like ducks running out of the. And then around 400 meters from here, there's this kind of like yerida, like just shinoi shel adama kaze, from like this to this. So like everyone was like going downhill, and at this point there's maybe like 300 people running, 400 people. I'm not sure how much. I'm just throwing numbers, but a lot of people. And then I bump into a girl that I knew, another girl that I knew from around, and she just was laying on the floor having a panic attack. And then I told her, Ofik, and this is kind of where it knocked some sense into me. Then I said, okay, no one's going to help us. Then we have to survive by ourselves. Then at that point I screamed, like I was in the Katzin in the army. Trust me, I know what I'm doing, even though I had no idea what I was doing, and I wasn't a Katzin in the army. And then we just started running, and we're running, and then I look back, and I see that most people disappeared already. It's Asaf, me and Asaf always had eye contact, so we're always together. Ofik and her friend stuck with me, and then I turn around and I see there's like only 6 or 7 girls with us. They're all pretty young. They're all like, they were wearing sweaters, or they had a bag, and then me and Asaf said, like, give us your things, take off your sweater while we were running, because it was really hot. It was already like 9 a.m. and it was probably 28 degrees, and it was after a while we were running. I still had my backpack, so I put all the belongings in my backpack. After running for a while, we were all sure we ran like 5 kilometers, but at the end it was only like 800 meters. I was getting tired, and I'm pretty much in shape. I was looking around me, and it was Asaf and me, Asaf, two other guys, and 6 girls, 10 people. I see this kind of tree bush, which is like, it's like one of those trees, but just an older one, big, that like
Shita.
yeah, it's shita. I scream, everyone get into the tree. We get into the tree, we all get into the tree, we lie down, it's around 9:15. At this point I had so many, all of us in one tree, 10 people, 6 guys, 4 girls, 6 girls, 4 guys. I knew Asaf and Ofik. Ofik came with her friend, 4 girls that were friends, and then there was a girl and a guy that were friends. So we all like knew each other but didn't know. Then we were in this tree for around 7-8 hours, no water, no food, calling the Tzal, calling police, one of them had contacted Madda, one of them had contacted Shabak. Most people or either not answering, either saying we can't help you, hanging up, or they said, where's your location? Wait there, we're coming. Obviously, no one came till today. So as we're in the tree, I was just, I don't know, something, כאילו משהו נכנס בי, I was in a good mood, thinking like positive thoughts. I told this to my sister on the way. She was a little bit freaking out from the Tilim. And I was telling her, when I was here in the bush, all that was running through my mind is מה הסיכויים שיפגע פה באמצע השדה, like what are the chances a Til is going to hit us here in the middle of the fields. That was my thought, and that's how I felt. So I don't recalling being too afraid that day. So we're waiting. My phone was like 3%. I got of many calls. My photo was already running through that I was missing, like going through the Facebook, Instagram, whatever that I'm missing. So I called one of my friends. I told her, listen, I have 3%, take Ofik's number. I'm fine now, I'll keep on updating you, but make sure like people know, as for now I'm fine. My phone dies, so we're in this tree, no water, no food, missiles coming in non-stop. Some are in contact with the police, some are in contact with the army. Like I said, no one was coming. One of the guys was in contact with his dad the whole time. At some point at around 1:32ish, suddenly we hear someone screaming with an Arab accent, who's there, who's there? We immediately lie down, keep quiet. The girls are freaking out, and then at some point one Palestinian from Gaza finds us, comes into the tree. The girls immediately get up, started running again in the fields, and then he picks up his hands, he says he doesn't want to hurt us, and then another one comes in, and another one comes in, another one. There were 13 Mistananim from Gaza. Yeah.
Infiltrators.
They
all armed, or they weren't all armed?
No, they're none of them. First, so I look at Ofir and Asaf, and I tell them, הוא לא חמוש, אם הוא עושה משהו, כאילו, על החיים ועל המוות. And he said, he looks at me, he says in English, you speak English? I said, yes. He said, don't be afraid. I told him, we're not afraid. We're not afraid. I was like standing like this, looking him in the eyes, like, I'm ready to kill you. And then they started asking for some water, for cigarettes. We told them we don't have water, and then they're like, don't lie, we know you have water. And then they tried to convince us to come with them towards Beersheba. Obviously, we said no. We got into like this argument. One was a little bit more aggressive with his talk, and then there was one which looked like kind of, I guess, their leader. He said in Arabic, like, okay, let's leave them alone, let's go. And then they were also like arguing between them, and then they really got up. They all left. They started walking towards that way in the fields. Then me, Asaf, Ofir went out to look for the girls that ran away. We found them pretty quickly. They didn't go too far. They were freaking out. We brought them all back to the tree bush, and then we were having there a debate: should we stay? Should we not? Should we go? Because they who knows if they're going to tell on us, not telling us. We decided to stay. Ofir's dad was already on his way. It's already about like 2:30. We decided to stay. then as we're having this debate, they were already like maybe 100 meters away. One of the more aggressive guy comes running towards us. The Palestinian comes running towards us. Right away, me and Ophir got up, went to him, and we asked him, what do you want? He said, like in Hebrew, like very bad Hebrew, he said, בואו עכשיו, יש פה חמאס, וואלה, הורגים את כולם. עכשיו, תבואו. And then we got into an argument again. He said, בואו עכשיו לבאר שבע. I still till today don't know why. Maybe they wanted protection, maybe they wanted to help us, or I don't know. And then we told him we're not coming, לא משנה מה. He said, לא באים, אין בעיה. Like, no problem, you're not coming. So again, we didn't know what to do. Then we just said, okay, we don't know where to go, where is safe, where is not safe. So we decided to stay. At this point already, it's already late in the day. I passed out, like fell asleep. They kept on waking me up. I kept on falling asleep, and finally, we started hearing like Allah Akbar coming closer, and the gunshots are coming closer and closer. Finally, a car, and also at the time we were in the bushes. There were cars passing, but we were too afraid to ask for help because you don't know if Palestinians, Tzava, you don't know. So we stayed. Every time a car passed by, we lay down flat.
How far are we from the road?
From this road.
No, from the road where that car was.
There was like right next to us, like not a road, but Shvil Afar kaze. Till finally we hear a car coming like from the other side. It was Ophir's dad. We immediately all get up, run to the car. There were two guys, Ophir's dad and his friend. One of them had a handgun. He comes out with his handgun. We all start going into the car. At that point, the first time we see police comes by and he says, "What are you guys doing here? There's mechablim 150 meter mpo." So I said as a joke, "Stam mitfanenim picnic." And then we get into the car. We're all like squished. It's a car of 7. It was like a Silverado.
Who was
4x4.
driving it? Your friend's dad or
Yeah.
someone else?
It's my friend's dad. So we were 12 people in the car that fit 7. We were all like smushed or whatever. As we started driving, they started shooting at us. They missed the car. They missed it completely. And he's with a Maviv shel delek, like the gas is almost finished. We go rushing through the fields till we get to this gas station. In this gas station, there was probably like 100 Magav, Chayalim, Mishtara, which I don't know what they were doing there. They were all waiting for some orders. There was a lot of bodies in the gas station. People that got hit by RPG. As we get there, there's 4 Chayalim with a stretcher and a Chayal. No, I think someone from the party. Like his chest was open, he got hit by an RPG. And one of the girls that was with us, she's a paramedic. She was actually like in the worst state. She was completely freaking out. But once she saw that, something switched in her head. She asked, "Do you need help?" They said yes. She put on a pair of gloves. She started taking care of Tsuim there and whatever. This guy, the guy that we saw on the stretcher with his chest open. A few days later, they told her he didn't make it. Then we were at the gas station for around 15 minutes, and more injured people started coming I bumped into a friend. He's in pay in the army, but he was off that weekend, and he was in the party, and he had a rasis in his nose and a gun. And I asked him, where did he get a gun from? He said, after I met him a few weeks later, he told me his story. He got kidnapped. He managed to escape. He ran away. He saw some Chayal B'shok. He took his gun and started fighting back. Anyways, we get into the car. We pick up like 2 other girls. So now we're like 14 people in the car. 2 other girls that one of them, like, she started telling us she was in a different party called Psyduck, and she said that they cut off someone's head there. And you hear these stories, and you were there, you went through it, and you're like, nah, it can't be. You don't like you hear it, and lo nitfas. And she was freaking out. She was like completely panicking, and we were calming her down. He filled up gas. We drove to Moshav Maslul. I have family there. I don't think Moshav Maslul was affected that day. We get into this like big ulam. They're writing our names, our Teudat Zeut, you know, to put it in the Ma'agal that we're okay. At this point, we're already more or less safe. Still missiles coming in. It's already like 4:30. We drank some water there. We were like calming down. I remember looking at other survivors' eyes. Everyone had their like own horror, their own story. Then we left the area at about 5 when Ophir's dad came back. He dropped his son off and then went back around 4 times to save at least 50 people. After he saved his son already.
What was his name?
I don't remember his name.
Where was he from?
From Gadera. But he didn't want to speak to any of the news or anything. He stayed quiet. Then we were leaving like the area, and I remember the whole area was like a complete war zone, like in the movies, like apocalypse, fires everywhere, cars burnt, cars just ditched in the middle of the road with bodies inside. And as we were getting out of the area, we also saw like a truck hitting a private car, and probably everyone died in that car as well. But we just kept on driving, and like almost every car, someone driving, and out of all 3 of the windows, guns, like holding their guns out. There was a lot of also Tutsim that day, like friendly fire. Till I reached Gadera at around 5:30, 6-ish. And then I called whoever I could, my sister, Sheva, I think I spoke to you, or Yehuda, I spoke to Yehuda. The same day, in the evening, I spoke to Yehuda. My parents obviously didn't know till Sunday morning. Slept one night in Gadera, then I went to Beit Shemesh. Went from Beit Shemesh, I took my equipment, army stuff. Went to my sister Elisheva, she picked me up from Tzomit Golani. Went to her house, slept there another night. Then I went up north to Kibbutz Yiftach area, which is Galil Elyon. I was there for about 3 months.
As a soldier.
As a soldier. Now I did another round for 5 weeks in the Syrian border. It was calmer. I just finished like last week. That's it. Now I'm here.
Thank you so much.
If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
What were your thoughts being that you mentioned that you said, oh, they're going to come soon? Did you keep Elecha Tikva, you know, you kept it?
In the
or?
beginning, the ditch, I still, I didn't know where the day was going. At some point when we were running, I looked at Asaf and I told him, I don't know why, whatever's going to happen today, I feel like we're going to be alive. When I called my parents, I called them to tell them I don't know what's going to happen. So I still didn't know what my thoughts were. But I did know that the war started already.
היה לך אמונה? יהיה טוב?
כן, אני לא יודע איזה אמונה, אבל היה לי.
Hold on.
כן.
Sylvan Strong.
מה עשיתם כל הזמן בתוך השיח? ישנתם?
אני ניסיתי, כולם שם היו בהתקף חרדה. I was pretty calm, אני ניסיתי לעשות צחוקים את האמת.
That would be
Because there was nothing, who knows what's going to happen to these. I don't know, making jokes, asking. I didn't know most of the people, so I was asking. There's also one of the girls that was with her, her name's Yarden, and she actually. Yarden, I forgot her last name. She actually became a little bit famous because of her videos, because she like took her phone and she said, "אני כאן בשיח, לא יודעים מה יהיה," and then she asked, "איך קוראים לך? מה הציפיות שלך?" You know.
Was she the one that was doing like interviews?
Yeah.
I saw this. Oh my god. As if she was doing like.
Yeah, so she became a little
So
famous.
if you're a survivor, you did the army, and then you're doing Miluim. I'm thinking of all of our kids that it's getting harder and harder to go back to Miluim. I don't know how you feel. I don't know. I didn't talk to them exactly
The
about
second,
this, but I don't know. I feel like it's getting harder and harder. So go back to Miluim. I don't know how you feel. I, that's, I don't know. I didn't talk to them exactly about this, but
You mean
Is
going
there a
like
per-
again to Miluim after
Yeah.
the first time? Because a lot of time. Actually, the second time I went to Miluim, when I finished Miluim the first time, I finished in the end of December. Then things started getting hard. Like like the trauma started floating, and I tried to go back to work. I went 2-3 times a week. I would always leave after 5-6 hours. They were actually very good with me. Now, when I went to Miluim, it was kind of like, I don't know if to call it bricha, but it was nice to see my friends again, and Rosh Hashanah shel like the outside world. Even though you're more involved with the war, you're less involved with because I live in Tel Aviv, and like הרבה פעמים שוכחים בכלל שיש מלחמה. I don't think you need to live every day as if like